So last night, after a long day of work and then playing pickleball, I had a buddy who was eating lunch at a local bar. I texted him as I was walking out, just checking in on him. He said, "Well, I'm actually eating right down the road." I said, "I'll swing by, see how you're doing." So drove out there, and it was that place closed pretty early. So I got done at pickleball at like 9, and that place happened to close at 10. So I got there at like 9:15. And so they, of course, wanted to be out early. So we went down to another local place and just sat there and having drinks and asked him, how life is and, the dating world. And, he just said it was, he's having a struggle, just like everyone. He feels like he can't set up dates. He feels like the conversations don't go as far as he would like. And I asked him, what is he using? And primarily he's on Facebook dating apps, which I just happened to install about an hour and a half before I left for pickleball. So brand new to it. And I opened up the app and I had some messages, some comments. And he's like, dude, how do you do it? And I said, well, let me see your phone. So he handed me his phone, and he had a couple women on there that had messaged him that he never responded to. So I went back and forth, handed him his phone back. I said, she gave me her number. She'll text you here in a sec. Or no, I said I text her, and then just let me know when she texts back. Maybe a minute later, I said, okay, she texts back, what now? And he's reading what I'm typing. And I said, well, let me see it. And so I messaged back a couple times, and then handed him his phone back. And I said, all right, you have a date set up for Wednesday at 7 p.m. at this location. And he just sat back like, what the freaking heck did you just do? Now, here's what's important about that story. It wasn't me. It wasn't my looks. It wasn't my professional photos. It was simply the banter back and forth. And it was very simple. I'm talking maybe a total between the dating app messages, getting the phone number and setting up the date, maybe 10 messages total. But it was a banter. It was a push and pull. There was a polarity there. There was a relaxed type of demeanor there. I think the biggest issue that people have, men particularly when it comes to dating apps, is A, they overthink it, and B, they don't lead the conversation. If you have so much time that you can go back and forth messaging a woman without asking her on a date, you need a life. You need to get busy. You need to have things going on. I'm not just saying just get busy for the sake of it. Maybe you've worked your whole life and now you're retired and you're enjoying it. But you need to do something more than just message back and forth. You need to have a direction. This is the prime opportunity for you to lead. And so one of the techniques, I guess, if you will, that I use inside the Reinvented Man dating course is you need to pick a location. And I actually talk about like what locations you should pick, where you should sit, what that first date should look like, and a bunch of other things. But you need to lead the conversation. And then once you lead the conversation, you need to be able to use your cell phone, be somewhat technology savvy. All I do is I map out their location, where they're at, where I'm at, and I look right for the middle spot. And then I go to Google Maps and I type in bars or coffee shops or ice cream parlors or restaurants or whatever is the thing that you want to do. Now, I typically tell people you should be meeting for drinks or coffee because you don't know if y'all will like each other. And what you don't want is to have, an hour and a half dinner with somebody that you don't like or they don't like you. You want to give them the fluidity of being able to walk away. And that might be a new word. But I pick a location. I know what I'm looking for, what type of seating, tables, chairs, etc., hours, and then I on Google Maps. I click on that location. I slide the top icons over to share, which gives me the copy link so that they can just press it and get directions. And then once they've confirmed that yes, and I always ask, do you have any availability? You don't want to say, are you free tomorrow? Because that automatically puts you out of the leadership position. Because now what if she says no? The likelihood of her being open tomorrow or on a specific day is very low, and it puts you in a position that's unnecessary. Instead of saying, are you available tomorrow? You just say, do you have any availability to grab drinks this week? Let her tell you what day. Oh yeah, it looks like Saturday's open. Then you lead from there. You say, okay, Saturday's great. I tell you what, what's your number? I'll text you a good location. Gives you your number, gives her your number. You text back, say, okay, I'll meet you here 7 o'clock. Here's the location. Looking forward to it. And some other piece of banter at the end. Taper off with 1 or 2 text messages. And usually I'll say, oh, and by the way, like if it's not tomorrow, maybe it's a couple days from now, I'll say, oh, and don't worry, I'll be hitting on you via text tomorrow as well. Winky face or something that, so that's it. It's not rocket science. It's just leading the conversation and bantering, having just simple banter that just relaxes her, makes her feel safe, and then leads the conversation. So that's the tip that I want you to have for today. Don't overthink it. Just set up the date. It's not that big of a deal. You may get there and you don't like her, or she may not like you. So don't overthink setting up the date. Just jump right into it. So hope that helps. This is Marcus with The Reinvented Man. Like, subscribe, comment, and go to the Reinvented Man website. Thanks.